everybody, welcome to Lisa's Art Room. So today we're going to be starting a new journal. We're going to be starting a country themed journal that is cute and fun and whimsical, just something a little bit different from my normal thing. So hopefully y'all can join me and watch me put this journal together. It will take several lives. Usually it's about 12 or 13 lives, I would say, to get it done. I'm going to get you guys pulled up. We are currently live on Facebook. If you see the little red button at the top left, if not, you're catching a replay either here or on YouTube. Let's see if I can find this live. All right. So I was trying to decide what to do for my next journal, and I was over at Hobby Lobby and I found some cute fabrics. So I decided, well, you know what, I'll just base it around these fabrics. So what I found was this one with these cute little chickens, and this one, which is just kind of whimsical, and I thought they went well together. So that's what I'm going to be using, and part of it will be the pocket, part of it will be the cover. I'm still kind of figuring it out. I'm leaning toward this being inside and then this being a pocket as well as a cover. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I've already cut these out to size because it just saves a whole lot of time. And then I have my Amazon packaging, which has already been cut out as well. I'll go over dimensions and everything once I pull the camera up top, and we can look at that. And then I have a lot of other just papers and things, okay, but we won't really get to that today. All right, let's see if we can get a couple people on. So far I only see one. Hopefully the live came through. I didn't do like an at everyone kind of thing. Sometimes I don't think my people are getting notifications. Let me try. I don't see anybody. Let me try making a quick post on my iPhone here, if I can get it to do it. I don't know if it'll do it when you're live, if you can make a second post. I have no idea. Never tried it. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I do at, oh, it's top fans. Okay, I'll just do that. At everyone live, not love, live now. All right, we'll see if that goes through, if I can get a couple people on here. I don't know where everybody is. Okay. So let me make sure that this is still up and going. I'll just check the volume on my own. Usually I have somebody check it. Oh, hey, Deborah, there's somebody. Thank you. I'll just check. Okay, volume seems okay. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead. I've got one person on anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera up top so we can just go ahead and get started. It takes me a little bit to do these covers, so we'll just do that. There will be sewing involved, which will mean I have to pull the sewing machine out and move the camera around and all that stuff, so just bear with me when I do that. But let's go ahead and move this. All right, cover, behave. All right, let's see. I think that's straight. All right. All right, so like I said, I have these fabrics picked out. So I just cut 2 of each for now until I figure out the pocket. But one of these will be cut in half for the pocket, which will be not quite in half, maybe a little less than half. I don't like my pockets too tall. So we'll do that once I figure that out. This is the inside paper for the liner pocket, which goes basically here and here, and that'll be a pocket there. I decided to just go with some red cardstock. And so this is my Amazon packaging. Thanks for letting me know. Sounds good, Deborah. So this is just a M8 size, but you can use anything that's big enough. Let's see if I can find one. I have a ton of them here, but they're squished in my thing. Let's see. Is that one? Yeah. So these are the sizes when you get these in the mail. This M8 size is usually a good size for me because it's almost exactly right this way. So I just have to cut off the ends and the top a little bit. But you can also, if you only have these smaller M2s, what you can do is open them up. And when you open them up, you end up with a sheet like this, and you can take 2 of them and put them together to make it work. So there are, different ways that you can do it if you don't have that particular size. I haven't been getting near as many of these packages. I used to get them all the time, but recently they've started sending me those, just the plain paper ones. And they're never straight. They're like they put them through a machine and it just chops it off wherever with that crinkle cut stuff. And so I don't like them as well as these. These have like a padding in them. Let's see if I can open it to show you what I'm talking about. And the padding just makes it a little more crinkly feeling, which I kind of like. I don't know if I can get it to show you. Yeah, I think I glued all mine together. Yeah, okay. See how it's got that foam padding in there? And that just makes it a little more, I don't know, puffy, crinkly, which I like. At one point, I was just taking interfacing and putting in there. But then you got to, deal with gluing the interfacing in, and that can be a pain. So I'll kind of switch to this version. So what I like to do is I cut 2 pieces. I usually flip them inside out so that the front cover has a plain piece to work with. That way, if my material is on the thinner side, it doesn't show through on my front cover. This yellow, even though it's a bright, bright color, it's actually pretty thick. So it's not real see-through, which surprised me, honestly. I was worried it was going to be see-through, but it doesn't seem to be. So 2 pieces, 9 by 14 is what I use, and that gives me a 2-inch spine, a 6-inch cover, 6-inch back, and it'll be about this big. Okay, and this is just a size I like. Once I put the cover on, it's a little bit bigger because of the ruffles or the fringing, but it's basically 9 by 6 across with a 2-inch spine. Yeah, they are going to cheaper packaging, Deborah, which I don't know. I guess I can't blame them, but still. For what I pay for my Amazon Prime, they shouldn't be. It's gotten crazy expensive. But yeah, without showing you my address, this is what I've been getting. It's just this plain paper, and it's rarely straight. It's thick, so if you want it for something else, it's a good thick paper, but I don't know. That's what I've been getting lately. Okay, so 2 pieces, 9 by 14, basically 2-inch spine. So I just measure 6 to 6 and then 9 inches this way. Cut it out. Make sure it's square. Cut it on your grid so that you can make sure that it is as square as you can get it so that you don't have issues later. And then my fabric, I cut basically a 1/2 inch bigger, which will give me a 1/4 inch on the sides. So the fabric is 9.5 by 14.5. And that gives me just a little bit on each edge with this fringe. Okay. And the fabric's a little trickier to get square, but try to get it as square as you can so that it will fit, you know, inside well. Sometimes it's tricky, but I think it's close. All right, and then I cut, you need an outside cover, and then you need an inside cover. Actually, it's not that one, it's this one. Sorry, let me figure it out. Front cover, back cover. So it's like this. I've got it backwards. Hold on. Right, inside cover. Oh, I'm gonna get it. So it'll be like this, like this. Right. So you need material for your front, material for your inside. It could be whatever design you want. It doesn't have to be the same. And then a piece for your pocket, which I'm either going to use this piece for my pocket, or I'm going to use this for my inside, like this, and then this for my pocket. And I'm kind of leaning toward the black and then the yellow for the pocket because I feel like it looks better. What do y'all think? Do you think it looks better to do it? So look at it this way, and then look at it this way. What do you think? I think I like the black with the yellow. For whatever reason, I don't know if the yellow just is messing with my eye too much on the inside, but I feel like it's better just to have it for the pocket. Do y'all agree? So I just have to split this one in half, or close to half. This will just be an extra piece for another journal or something. And then once I figure all that out, I'm not getting any replies. Once I get that all figured out, I mark my bags with all of the stuff so that I don't get confused. So what I do is I put them together, and then this, I write front cover, and hold on, and I make an arrow pointing up. I mark my center spine. I don't really know if I have to. I just do it. Honestly, for this part, I guess it comes in handy when I'm gluing the fabric down. It does come in handy, so just mark it. This is the back cover. Same thing, just make sure you have your arrow. And then inside right cover, I also say bottom since it is kind of on the bottom. And then arrow. Inside left top cover. Okay, so it's the inside top cover. And then inside that, I have the ribbon marked off in half. So this is where I'm going to put my ribbon. And then that paper that I showed you, I have to cut it in half. I haven't done it yet. It's going to go here in half. And it'll go over the ribbon. And this is marked bottom pocket, red paper, and ribbon. And then this is called top pocket, red paper, and then an arrow. Both have arrows up. Okay. because this ends up being a pocket on this side. Okay, so that's all my marking. It just keeps me straight so I don't get confused when I'm turning things around, and it's real easy to get confused, and it's just saved me a lot of headache. And I just use a chalk pencil. You could probably just use a regular pencil, but the chalk pencil, this white one, doesn't show as much through my fabric, so that's why I use this. So let's get together, putting this together. So first things first, I haven't done one of these in so long, guys. I have to really think. I'm gonna cut this fabric in half for the pocket first. Let me see if one of these fits my cover better than the other. I think they're exactly the same, but you never know. So let's see. It's pretty square. I think they're both just a little bit short on the outside edge, but not too bad. Yeah, I feel like this one isn't quite as square. So I'm going to cut this one. I'll save this one for the front cover. And you can use the salvage edge for the top of your pocket or not. I think I will. It's not really a salvage edge, it's just I just tore the fabric instead of cutting it, which sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just not on the grain perfectly, and it just fails. So if you find a fabric and it's just not, when you tear it, it's just going crooked on you, just use a rotary cutter and some scissors or whatever, you know, to try to cut it straight, and use your grid, because they don't always tear right. This one didn't do too bad, but sometimes they don't. So let's see, how big do I want this pocket? I think I'm just going to set this up here so I can get an idea. I don't think I want quite half. So I'm going to go, half seems a little tall. No, I don't know. Maybe half isn't bad. I'll do half. It's not bad. So I'm just going to mark it and cut it. I probably can't see that on there. Get some brown or black. I don't know what this is. So, and I'm going to tear it and hope for the best. Hopefully it'll work right. Okay. So that'll be my pocket. Save this one for something. All right, so what do I do first? All right, I think I hate when I haven't done these in a while and I forget what I'm doing. It happens, guys. If you haven't done one in a while, sometimes you forget. All right, ribbon, bobbin, pocket, inside cover, bottom. What? Yeah, okay, that's right. Let's see. So the first thing I have to do is put my ribbon in, I think. You know, I have instructions somewhere. I'm so afraid I'm going to mess it up. Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right, because I'm kind of blanking today. Which one do I have? I got two. Two pieces, layout, top, bottom, mark for... Okay, glue and ribbon, make sure centered. Glue paper over pocket. Fabric on packaging, pocket applying, secure with clips, so the pocket edges first. Okay, yeah, that's right. I keep notes on everything, guys. I'm too absent-minded not to. Okay. So first thing I want to do is get the ribbon down. So for my ribbon, I chose this plaid check ribbon. I got it at Hobby Lobby. Hopefully it texture feels good for tying, so I haven't opened it. If not, I do have other options, but if I can get a hold of the plastic. Let's see what it feels like. I think it'll be all right. Some fabrics don't tie well. I'm just going to quickly kind of play with it. I think it'll be fine. All right. So you want to make sure you have enough to tie. Now I just go all the way through and leave about, I don't know, maybe 13 inches or so on the outside. Oh, I had it written somewhere, but I don't know. It's probably not even on here, honestly. Yeah, no. All right. I usually just wing it. I feel like it's about, I feel like it's maybe like 34 inches. So we'll say 36 inches. That'll give me plenty. Okay, and then you just want to find your center. Now, if you have a ribbon that's going to fray on you, you might want to melt that or glue it. It's up to you. I have no idea if that was the right way. Not that it's a big deal, but I didn't have them laid together. Oh, it was. I have a match here somewhere. This is a polyester, so it will melt. Just a teeny tiny little bit. Just enough to keep it from fraying. Alright, so let me find my center again. Just try to squeeze it. Will it show? No. Wow, you can't even really write on it. Alright, so there's my center. Who said they were late? Oh, hey, Lori. That's all right. We really haven't gotten much done. All right, so you want to center, and I drew a line, like I said, in the center, so I have a line to go by. And then just go ahead and secure that down. You can use regular glue, Fabri-Tac, even just art glitter. It really doesn't matter. It's going to be secured 5 ways to 1 in here, so it's not a huge deal. Well, I guess I could use the Fabri-Tac. I hope my Fabri-Tac is okay. I ended up, it was getting a little thick, so I added some acetone to it last night. It looks okay. Sometimes it starts getting really thick after a while. And it won't squeeze out. No, I didn't go all the way to the edge just in case it gets on my needle. I don't want it to get on my needle when I'm sewing. And just go ahead and secure that, and then real quickly just kind of fold it in half and make sure it's in the center. If it's not, just give it a little bit of an adjustment. That's pretty close. Okay, that's secured down. And then over the top of that, I'm going to put this cardstock. I just need to cut it in half. Usually a half of a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet is perfect, which is 5.5. And this one's going to go here. Now, I like to keep it as close to the edge as I can. And this could be just regular glue. I don't think I want to use the Fabri-Tac on that. I'll just use the art glitter on it. Now, keep in mind this is going to be secured inside. And I will be doing some sewing on this edge, so I'm going to try not to put too much glue there. Although the art glitter doesn't tend to goop up my sewing machine like the Fabri-Tac does. God, my board has gotten, the blade is dull again. Oops, that's fine. It's not a huge deal. I'm going to try to get this fairly close to the edge. Not quite on the edge, but close. About there. Like I said, it's going to get secured when I put the fabric on. All right, now this piece goes on the top of the other piece. So this is the inside cover. So you see, I wrote can be glued on this. These two can be glued together. They don't really serve any real purpose because I don't put a pocket or anything on that side. Make sure your ribbon is on the top. It should be on the top piece, and on the back it should be on the bottom piece. Okay, that's important. And so this is where you want the second piece of paper to go. Go ahead and do that. Same thing, get fairly close to the edge. Okay, and that will be like that. So that will be our pocket. All right, now we need to start securing our fabric, and then we're going to sew. So the first thing we're going to sew is the pocket edge, okay? Because you have to sew it first. So let's see. We want to glue our fabric to, let me figure out which piece is which here. So this piece is going to go on here. And I'll center it in a second, but for right now I'm just going to kind of lightly attach it, if I can find my clips. I've got just some clips here. And I'll move it in a minute because I know it's not centered, but I want to turn it over to center it. So I'm just going to put 4 to start with. Hopefully I have enough. I'm making curtains right now and I used all my clips. Okay, so there's that. And then the back piece is also the front cover. And we'll do make sure if it's directional, it's the right way. This one's going to go here. I'll adjust this in a second. I like to kind of loosely put everything together, just make sure it's right before I go gluing. And then the pocket will go on here. And I think I will sew, I'm going to glue the pocket after I don't know if I want to sew it on there. I might try. I'll try to sew it on this edge. It's a little tricky with the pocket because you sew this piece and this piece first, but we don't sew any of this. So I might have to just glue it to this. Sometimes I just put it after and glue it, but I think I'll try sewing it. All right, so let's see. So this is what it will look like this, and like this. Okay, that this side opens, has a little pocket. So just make sure everything is, you know, in its right place. We'll do this one second, so I'll figure out that pocket if I want to do that. Make sure your directions are right. You can look at your little arrows if you can see any of them still. Yeah, that's right. I try to, oh well, you can't even see that. Sometimes my chalk pencil just will not show up. I'll just use this one. So that's the right way. I'm just going to mark the inside. Alright, so there's that. I know that's right. I know this is right. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is glue this piece on. So I need to make sure it's nice and centered to this as best I can get it. Make sure your direction's the right way. My little chickens are facing the right way. And I'm going to try to get it as centered as I can. The fabric will be a little stretchy, so it will move around some. Always does. And I'm going to try to get somewhat close to this edge with the pocket. I don't like to have too much. I haven't frayed this one that much yet. I will probably fray it a little more before I'm done. I think that's good. So let's see. Top looks a little bit high. Let me move it up just a little. And you can trim it later if you want, but I try not to because then I lose the nice torn ruffle, but you can. So let's see. I can figure out. I'm just going to attach this lightly and then I'm going to start gluing. And I'll probably start with this edge. But I got to flip it over because I don't like to put the glue directly on the fabric. If you put the glue directly on the fabric, it tends to want to bleed through your fabric. So try not to do that. Try to put it on the, if you have like a, you know, a paper surface, choose that surface. All right, so we're going to flip this over. And I'm going to start gluing this piece. And I'm going to start from this center line. Now, I do want this glued in the spine area because if it's glued down nicely, then when you're sewing it in later, when you're doing your sewing in the signatures, it doesn't get unaligned and cause issues. I'm just trying to find a spatula or something. I've got this guy and then I've got these guys. I'll use one of them. I don't know which. I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. And I'm just going to start here. And only do a little bit at a time. That way I can kind of check it, make sure it's in the right spot, adjust if needed. But ideally, make sure you spread it out with something. I know Jimmy Lou uses a little spoon, you know, whatever tool you have that works. A little bit more than that. And that helps it not to bleed through as badly. Okay, and then put that there. I have a clean one of these. I'll try to just kind of straighten it out. Now this will make it stretch just a little bit, so keep that in mind. And looks like it's straight still. Wait for my bubble. See how slow it's being? When you first buy it, the bubble just goes like, it goes right up. But after a while, it starts getting old and it loses that viscosity. Which one has the wet? This one. I have a clean one and then a wet one. it just seems to work best for me. You can just use your hands, but I don't know, I like doing it this way. Probably should be checking this, make sure it's still centered. I think it is. It looks like it is from the edges. I'm trying not to go too close to the edge so it doesn't goop up too bad. Let's flip it over, make sure we look good. Yeah, we're still good. Okay. And then I'm going to keep this one maybe a little bit in. I don't want to have too much glue on the outside. Like I said, it's going to get sewed in a second. So, all right, so there's that side all glued. We'll flip it over and flip it this way. I'll move these here, although I probably don't need them. You just kind of need them to get started. Take all these off. And same thing. I hate waiting for that bubble. I'm not patient. I don't know. I'm fairly patient, but I really don't like waiting for the bubble. It's like, just move. It is a cute fabric though, isn't it? It's so cute. It's fun. Hopefully someone will like it and buy it. It's like, I know I've sold a decent amount of my Farmhouse journals, but I wasn't sure about a cute one. I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe somebody will like it. Quick check. Okay. Alrighty. Last piece. Then we can do the other side. Have the bottom top piece. And this one, switch over to it. Trying to get glue everywhere. All right, so I think I'll glue the pocket on here and sew it as I go. But I have to glue it first so it doesn't move around. So I'm just going to glue it onto this black piece directly. As long as it's straight on here, it should be fine. Just try to get it somewhat straight and lined up. Okay, I'll do this bottom edge first. No, I'll do top first. All right. Now this one, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, just enough to kind of tack it, but I'm not going super close to the edge because I don't want it in my sewing spot. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit, just enough to hold it. And then same thing on this edge. I mean, if you had like maybe, you know, if I had a bunch of clips, I could just use my clips. to hold it, but it's honestly easier just to glue it. I'm not putting a ton. Ideally smooth it because it might show through. Thread off. Okay, there's my pocket. And I need to make sure I'm in the right spot. Inside right cover bottom. Inside right cover top. Can be glued shut. I like to just double check as I go. Make sure it looks right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Alright, so let's center this on here first. Make sure your direction's the right way. Looks good. Just gonna put one in the middle, I think. And I'll do this pocket edge first. Actually, I need to move over just a little bit more. I like my pocket edge to be kind of consistent. That way, when you're putting things in and out of it, it's a little more obvious, I think. So try to get that side fairly consistent. That looks pretty good. Make sure this didn't move any. I don't think it did. And then glue this. I'll just clip this one in place until I get to it. All right. Flip her over. And same thing. I'll try to get to that center line. Yeah. Double check my direction. My direction looks good. So I've debated on adjusting the cover just a little bit. I had an idea with a piece of ephemera, and then I've got a little sticker that I think might look cute. So I'll show it to you in a minute. Well, not a minute, but you know, closer to the end today. Yeah, I decided, I bought that other country farmhouse fabric that with the roosters on it. And I ended up with more than I needed. And then I started looking at it and I was like, you know, this would kind of make cute curtains for my kitchen. So I actually decided to make curtains out of it instead of a journal. So I've been working on those today. I'm just going to do kind of a cafe style, but I'm actually going to go all the way to the top. Most cafe curtains don't go all the way to the top, but I'm going to have it go all the way to the top. And then it's like got a rod with the little clip ring things. And so today I've been, you know, doing all the ironing and the folding over the edges to get ready to hem all the sides. I kind of forgot how much work goes into doing something like that. I thought, oh, this will be an easy project. It's like, oh my gosh, it took me all day just to do the ironing and folding over. Not all day, but like several hours. 'Cause, I don't know, maybe I'm slow. I don't know. It took forever. But I got it like all ironed, both panels, and then I've got it clipped. And then I'll start sewing it tomorrow. I didn't want to sew it today because I've got the wrong color thread in there for this. I didn't want to do yellow thread on it, so I'll do that tomorrow. Make sure we still look okay. It's a little bit off, but not too bad. I knew it was slightly crooked there. This one's straight, of course, go figure. All right. But I used almost all my clips, and I probably have, I don't know, 100 clips. I have a bunch. But used a bunch of clips. Okay, I don't need too many for this. I don't like using the pins because I end up sticking myself 100 times. When I grew up, you know, I've been sewing since high school, because back in my day they taught you to sew in high school. I don't think they do anymore, but I always would stick myself with the sewing pins. So I like the new little clips. They're a little bulkier though. When you are sewing, they are a little bulkier. Hopefully they'll look cute. When I get it done, I'll take a picture and show you. We have blinds in there right now, but the blinds they're very old, and you can't open them or close them because they'll basically fall apart. Because they're the ones that came with this house when we bought it. Like, I don't know, how long we've lived here now? Like 5 or 6 years, I guess. But they're not in the best of condition. Yeah, they're just the typical white blinds. I decided that I thought the fabric would look cute with the kitchen, although we don't really have a strong farmhouse theme to our kitchen. We do have, because I have tons of pictures I've done that are farmhouse themed, so I do have some. But we have a lot of like reds and browns, and that fabric has got a lot of reds and browns. Hopefully it'll look cute. I don't know. Never really made kitchens for the kitchen before. Kitchens. I've never made curtains for the kitchen before. The right words out. All right. Yep. There we go. All right. So let's put this. I'm gonna let it dry, and then this will just roll off. This little tool. The Fabri-Tex's real nice like that. It'll just roll off once it's dry. So I'll set that aside for now. Trying to put it somewhere I won't glue everywhere. We're gonna put it up here. All right, so next step, let's put it all back together. Let's see. This goes like this. This goes like this. This goes like this. All right, so now we have that. This pocket, actually I was going to glue that. I like to glue the center of my pocket because it just makes life easier. But I do want to see where the center is, so I'm just going to use this because I know I have it marked. I can see where the center is, which is right here. I'm just going to put a little bit in the center. Not all the way across, but partially across. Probably should smooth it out some. There. just to kind of hold it down. It'll be mostly covered up when we sew the signatures in. Right there. All right, back to where I was. Yeah. Front, front, front. Okay, so now when you're at this stage, you'll make sure everything's in the right spot. Pocket, ribbon on the back, pocket here. This is the front. This side can be glued together later. We're not going to do that right now, but it can just be glued down to this side. And then front cover. Okay, so what I want to do right now is sew this edge, because when I'm going around and sewing the outside, I can't sew this edge, because if I did, I would sew it together. And we don't want this sewed together because it's a pocket. So you have to do these two pieces separate. So we'll do that first. So I'm going to grab the sewing machine so I can do that. Put this pen back in here. Hopefully I can get the sewing machine over here without being too destructive. I've got some wood I have to move. Have like a piece of wood here that gets in my way. I used to hold my iPad. Get that out of the way. It's like there's no real easy way to do it. All the dirt that's piled up underneath there. Okay, sewing machine. So this is, I'm going to be doing this from the top down, so you really can't see a lot of the sewing, but most of you know how to sew. And it's not a huge deal. You'll get the idea of it. All right. Hopefully this is working right. Yeah, I don't think home economics is taught either. I homeschooled my kids, so I don't really know. So, did I not plug it in? Thought I plugged it in. Hold on. Maybe I didn't. Let me go plug it in. Ugh. Of course, I gotta take my mic off. Where's the plug? There it is. Alright, we're just going to use the normal straight stitch. I've got yellow thread in here. And like I said, first thing I want to do is sew the edges where the pocket is. So anywhere the cardstock is on the edge, not on the tops. You could, but it's definitely not necessary. And then you have to decide, do you want your thread to show on this side or you don't want your thread to show on this side. I prefer this side. It's a little tricky because you got to figure out where the cardstock is. Sometimes I can just kind of fold it over a little bit and mark the edge with the chalk pencil. See if that will work. So I can see where that cardstock is, because I prefer to have the good side of the thread on this side. Ideally, it's not going to work on this yellow. I don't think. Let me see. Can I see that? No. I don't want too much of this because you can erase it, but sometimes it doesn't erase great. Although it probably would wipe off with water, I guess, fairly good. All right, so I'm just going to do that, and that's just going to give me, if you can see it, can you see that line? It's just giving me a little bit of a line to follow so that I can be, I want to be like 1/8 of an inch inside of this cardstock, ideally. So I can catch a little bit of it. So let's see if I can do it. So I usually just put my foot up to where that line is, the edge of it. Probably more like 1/4 of an inch. That's fine. Make sure you back stitch a little bit so you got a nice strong edge. And you are going through a little bit of thickness, so depending on your machine, it may or may not. Where's my ribbon? Oh, it's not on this piece. I was like, where's the ribbon at? It's on the other piece. Just make sure your pocket stays flat. Okay, let's see if I stayed fairly straight. Not too bad. Not 100% straight, but good enough. All right, so there's that one, and then we want to do this one. So same thing, I'd prefer the good edge to be on this side. So I'm just going to mark this slightly. Sometimes you can just kind of fold it and see where the edge is, but sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you can see through it, but I can't really see through it. Like I said, this yellow is a lot thicker than I thought it was. That's pretty close. It's very close. It's a little bit further down here. All right. So we're going to flip this over this way so that my good part of the thread is up. Y'all still with me? Do make sure your ribbon doesn't get sewn in to, you know, crooked or something. A little bit off there, but it's enough that it's grabbed it. That's all that matters. Okay. You cut your string edges if you want. All right. So now, scooch that out of the way. Now that we have that done, put her back together. Make sure your pocket's on the right side. And you want to just line it all up. Now, at this point, I can go ahead and glue this side. Probably will, just so it stays straight and doesn't move around too much. So I'm just going to line up my center marks and got those two lines there. I'm going to try to get those on each other and make sure the edges look like they're coming up where they're supposed to. Sometimes, like I said, it's not perfectly square. See, the cardboard is hitting where it's supposed to, but the fabric's a little off, and that's pretty common. So I try to make at least sure that the cardstock material, the paper material, is where it's supposed to be. And then I'm just gonna try and clip this so I can glue that down. It'll just help it not to move around on me so much. Just make sure I'm where I want to be. And do make sure you're on the side without the red paper so that you're not gluing your pocket closed. You don't want to glue your pocket closed. And I could just use the Fabri-Tac. Doesn't really matter. It's paper to paper, so you can use whatever. But I'll use this. mostly because it doesn't dry as fast. So I'm just going to glue this closed, but I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. That way I don't have to deal with, you know, the glue. And just still go past your center line is all that matters, because you don't want to affect your pocket on the other side. Put it on the ribbon if you want. Just gonna glue that down. Make sure everything looks straight. Yep. All the edges are on the corners. Squish that in there. All right, so now that side is nice and secure. So when you're sewing this, the one thing, I'm going to put some glue on here just to stop that edge. I usually try to use the salvage edge for this pocket, so I don't have to deal with it fraying, but I didn't do that this time. So what I will do is just take a little bit of glue. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll just put it right on the edge of that and put some plastic under here or something till it dries, just to kind of seal that off. Where did I just put that pen? Oh. That way it won't fray on me, because it's just going to keep trying to fray. And it's frayed plenty. So you just, the most important part is don't sew your pocket. You got that pocket there, it's all nice. So put a whole bunch of clips on it, a sticky note, whatever it takes for you not to sew it closed, because I've done it and I've had to rip it all apart and start over. So try not to do that. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm just going to clip that one. I know, don't mess with that. All right, and then the rest of it, you can put a few clips and figure out where you want to start. Because I don't want to sew this edge, I'll probably start here and come around and end here. And the only thing is, I'd really rather the cover have the nicer stitch. So I might actually start here. I may pull some of this black off. The paper is pretty much in the right spot. It's off just slightly. I don't know if I can move it over a little bit. I might can. It depends on how much glue is on the other side. Yeah, it's just not quite hitting right, so I can't. I might trim that off a little so it doesn't show so much on the outside. But for right now, I'm just going to leave it. But I do need to see where this is, because I want to make sure I grab the card material as well as the fabric. So you can do that, you know, however you need to. Since I'm going to sew on, this is the front cover side, so I'm going to mark this side about where that is. I'm just going to mark a few places and try to stay inside that just slightly. I'm just peeking. It's the easiest way to do it. I don't want to put a solid line because honestly I just don't want to deal with trying to erase it later. Yeah, this is the part that gets glued shut. Like I said, most of it will erase. And if I go, well, I won't go over it with the thread because I'm not going to sew right on this spot. But you could put it, I guess, where you want to sew too. See, this is pretty far in. So if I did it here, it wouldn't hold as well. So try to make sure you're on a little bit of that card when you're sewing. All right, so there's my marks. I don't really need these. I'll put a few just in case it moves. I don't think it's going to move because it's glued on that one side. All right, so I'm going to start here, go around, and to here. All right, so back to sewing. hopefully it will stay where it's supposed to stay. Sometimes it gets a little bit, I don't know, wrinkly. It tries to wrinkle, so hopefully it won't wrinkle. The only thing you do need to watch is when you're going over your pocket on the inside, do make sure that it doesn't fold over on you. So when I get to the pocket spot, which is right here, I just need to make sure, one, my ribbon's out of the way, and two, that my pocket is staying, you know, nice and flat where it's supposed to. If I had a pin, I'd probably just try to pin it down, but I think I can just work with it. All right, so we're gonna start on this edge, and we're just gonna back stitch a little bit. And so I'm just staying just barely inside that card. It's like about 1/8 of an inch, I would say. And when you get to the corner, just make sure your needle is down. And then once the needle's down, lift the foot and spin it. Again, watch this spot here. Okay, so I'm at that spot. So I'm just going to make sure that that's nice and flat there. Sometimes it's tricky. If you feel like it's going to not lay flat, you can always stick something under there. Don't sew it, but you know, just to kind of hold it for a second. Don't stick your finger under there. And I'll look and make sure it worked. Get my needle down. Let me just kind of see if I can peek at that real quick. Nope, it's fine. Okay. Spin it. This is the spot where it'll start trying to wrinkle on me usually, because I've gone all the way around and any of the stretchy fabric is trying to stretch. So if it feels like it's trying to, you just kind of, you know, push it as you go and make sure that it stays flat and doesn't wrinkle. Wasn't too bad that time. Get to the end, make sure you backstitch. So you get a nice strong edge where your pocket is. All right. Deborah says, my sewing machine and I are on a timeout until one of us gets a better attitude. I've been there, girl. This one's been behaving lately. All right, let's see. Let's knock off these threads. We did good. We didn't fold our pockets over or anything, so that's good. I did right there. See it? I didn't catch that. I gotta fix it. Didn't even see that edge. Snuck in there on me. It was probably when I first started, wasn't it? I don't know where it was. Alright, let me just have a seam ripper somewhere. Somewhere. But that's okay. I'll just use scissors. I just got to flatten this back down right. It's crooked. Every now and then that happens. All right. So let's see where I want to do this from. I think I will do it right here. this time, try to make sure it stays flat and doesn't do that on me. 1 second. So I'm just going to go back over the edge just slightly. This isn't the pocket, right? It is the pocket, okay. So I must have grabbed it at the end there. A little bit of thread, but that's okay. Yeah. All right, now my card isn't showing. So I've got this whole lot of edge here because the material wasn't quite right. You can leave it or not. It's up to you. I usually just leave it. It really doesn't take away from it. If it bothers you and you want to throw another stitch in there, you could do that, I guess. Sometimes I go around twice. Sometimes I don't. It's not really necessary to go around twice. But if you feel like it needs it, you can. But usually I just glue it, which is probably what I'll do. And to do that, I just use, you can use the Fabri-Tac or regular glue. It doesn't really matter. That way none of this cardstock will show. So just throw a little bit on here. Make sure it's smoothed out if you're using Fabri-Tac. Just use the nozzle. I don't go all the way up to the fringe because I do want it to fray a little. But this way the cardstock won't show. So I don't like the bag showing. Just close that down. And then it should be nicely sealed so that you can't see it. And if you feel like you need more, you can add more. You do that anywhere you feel like it needs to be glued to the bag. And if it doesn't bother you that it's showing, then just leave it. It's not a big deal. It might not even bother you. It's probably me having a pet peeve about it, honestly. But I'd rather not see it. I am going to see if I can erase this chalk pencil. Yeah, that's coming off okay. So just go by, erase all your chalk pencil marks. If they're not coming off, like I said, you can usually use just water, a little bit of water and a rag, wipe it off. I usually try to erase it first so I don't have to get it wet. Almost. A couple more places right here. Okay, I think I got it. It's a little bit showing right there. I don't like this eraser. Let me try this one. It's like sometimes that eraser is good, but sometimes it's just not firm enough. Okay. To get it all cleaned up, like I said, I think I'm going to trim that. But in order to do that, I'm going to probably use the rotary tool. Yeah, I'm going to do that real quick. And then I'll refray it So let me see. Let's see if I can scooch that out of the way a little bit. I don't like it showing in the front. I don't really want it showing in the front, so. Just use this carefully. These rotary tools are crazy. So do make sure you try to keep your fingers back. Can't tell you how many times I've chopped my fingers with it. I have a set of gloves here somewhere that is resistant to cutting that I will sometimes use. Let go. Alright, so do that. There's a little bit on this side too. Not much on this side, just a little right there. Like, it's not my, I prefer to not have to do this because, the fray's not quite the same, although you can make it the same with like some sandpaper if you really try. Okay. So now that can't see that so much in the front, let me put this pen back in. So what I'll do is, anywhere it's not frayed great anymore, then you can take, let me see. If you don't want to scratch up your self-sealing board, put something under, because even though this is self-sealing, when you use a scratching motion like this, it does leave really bad marks. So if you want to use your scissors, if you want to use a pokey tool, you could probably even just use a sharp side of your stylus. Yeah, that's fine too. It's not as sharp, so if you do miss, you don't chop your fingers. But just go ahead and refray that a little bit. I like the frayed edge, so but I'll usually just use, my scissors or whatever. But the only problem is if you get your finger too close, then you definitely will gack yourself. So I like to fray it again if I cut it. And then what you can do, because your edge is very different. Here, I'm going to show you real quick up close. All right, so when you have a torn edge, you get this, I don't know if you can see it. You get this soft fray. It's more feathery. Can't tell if it's showing on camera. And then when you cut it and you just pull the threads out, you get this fray. It's more, I don't know, perfect, I guess. And what I do to eliminate that is just take a piece of sandpaper, some sort of sandpaper, and you can just go along the edge with some sandpaper. I'll show you what that does. So then you get a softer fray. It's got a little more fuzz to it. It just looks better. Okay? So that's how I handle that. I'll go around and do all that later. I'm not going to do it right now because it's just time consuming. And then, what time is it? We got a little bit. I'm going to work on the cover some. So I'll show you what I wanted to do on the cover, I think. So So this will be our front. We've got our tie. Okay, our tie should be long enough. All right, plenty long enough. About a 2-inch spine once everything's together. Okay, it could be as small as a 1-inch spine, but it will probably end up being a 2-inch spine with me. And then what I was thinking, so I had a bunch of ephemera in the papers I bought. So I bought Doodlebug Design. This is Farmer's Market. It's cute. It's got a lot of farm type things with, you know, like a farmer's market. Some of it's a little fall, but not all of it. But they're bright colors and nice. So I bought that. I bought this Doodlebug Designs, which is the same company, but this one is the Down on the Farm. And they're very cute. It's all very cutesy. It's got like, I'll just pull a couple of them out. You know, little cute cows and chickens and hay bales and stuff. Okay, so I got that. And then I found these at Hobby Lobby. I think I'm gonna use this chicken. I'm gonna show you in a second. And then I got this one. This one is Blvd. It's called eieio. It's got all of these kind of things in it. Also very cutesy. It's all very cutesy. A lot of lighter colors. This is Down on the Farm. So I want to use, I think, this. And I'm going to show you how in just a second. But I bought this one pad of paper. This 12 by 12 paper pack. It's the Down on the Farm by Doodlebug. It has all these cool designs. They're double-sided. So some of them will be used for papers. Some of them will be cut out for the ephemera. Depending on, you know, what it is. Maybe it's little pockets. That'll be cute to make little pockets out of somehow. I'll do something with it. One of these I bought 2 of because I liked, I think it's this one right here. This one came with the pack, but I also bought a loose one because it has these, and I wanted to be able to use this side for like maybe pockets or something, but then I wanted to use this for maybe some borders or something. So I did buy 2 of those. Sometimes on the scrapbook.com when I'm ordering these papers, sometimes you can find the loose sheets, sometimes you can't. But if I can, I try to get a couple, especially if it's something I really like. And then other than that, I got, let's see, this sticker sheet came with that. It's got like little stickers on it. And then this one is the eieio, Blvd one. Another this one's also eieio. It's got some more tags and stuff. And then this is called Farmhouse Living. It is from, it's so tiny. I think it's Carta. Let me look. Yeah, Carta. Farmhouse Living. This paper, I didn't know this when I ordered it, but this paper has a really cool texture. I don't know if you can see it, but it's almost like, it's texture feeling. It's really cool. But it's not quite as cutesy as some of the others, but it's still, I think, cute enough. But so I only bought 1 of these, but I do love the texture. So that's the papers and things I got to work with. Hopefully that'll be enough. And then here's what I was thinking. So I was thinking I could take this. If I can figure out how I want to cut it out. think I'm just going to use my ruler because my blade on that other thing isn't working great. Let me find my knife. Can I reach it from here? Where are you hiding? There you are. Let's see if I can cut this on the line. I'm just going to cut the whole length. I only want this red one. This looks like a bandana. If I had had a bandana that looked like this, I would have used it, but I couldn't find one. I think this color will be best. I debated on between red and black, but I think I like the red. So, and then this little chicken. So these chickens are very see-through, so they are whatever you put them on. If you put it on white, you got a white chicken. If you put it on red, you got a red chicken. I don't want a red chicken, so I'm going to put some white behind it. I might have to recut this out, but I just did one to test. And then basically it's going to be something like this, so that I have a white chicken. Okay, so I got to recut that out real quick. And then I'm going to put that on the front, I think, with some felt. I'm going to build this up so it's not just flat. So it'll be something like that. What do you think? Is that cute? Any thoughts? I think the red will be best. The other option was to do black, but I don't think I like the black as much. I can show you the difference. And all the other colors didn't really match. Do y'all like the red? Really? You didn't go through, did you? I thought my blade was really sharp. Maybe not. I mostly use this for train stuff. More so than journals, but so I have to do a lot of fine cutting when I'm doing the train stuff. All right, I'll show you the difference. You like the red? Okay, that's what I'm thinking. But I was like, maybe it's not right, but I think the red's best. Throw the black up here just so you can see what it looks like. I'm trying to see what it looks like on camera. So it's like that. Like that. I think the red, it pops. But I do need to cut a piece of white. I thought about just painting it. It's a sticker, so I'm not sure if I could paint it. So I think I'm going to just try to put some cardstock behind it. So then I've got this little tiny piece of felt floating around here somewhere. I had it earlier. Let's see if I can find it. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Little piece of felt, because I want this to be raised a little bit so it's not just flat. So I'm just going to thicken this with this little piece of felt. Got to cut I don't think it's showing. Nope. Fine. I'll just cut it like it is. I think this will cut it. I'm not sure. I might have to use scissors. Never really tried to cut felt with it. The red's better? Okay. This little bit of black will show under this, but that's fine because, you know, it works still. Okay. So a little bit of felt on there. We'll just glue that to that just to give it a little more oomph. And then let me grab a little piece of paper or something for it to make white. I can use this, it's got like a raised bumpy surface, so I should be able to trace on it. Find a piece of paper. Probably just regular. I don't know if I want to use cardstock. Maybe. Oh, I probably can't find paper right now, so I'll just use cardstock. Let's see if this will work. So. I think I can see this. We'll find out. Yeah, I think I can see it. Let's see. Work. There is a little bit of a psychedelic kind of color in there. It's not real visible. Now I'm going to try to glue this behind it. Hopefully it works. It should be able to just stick it on there since it's a sticker, and then I'll glue the cardstock down. See if we can do this. We don't need the serial number. It's still on my finger. Let go. Oh wow, that's much firmer than I was expecting it to be. A little bit. All right, come on. Cooperate. A little bit high. It's tricky. Probably should just try to get the tail first. Come on, tail. Okay. But yeah, it does have a little bit of color to it. It's not completely white because the stickers themselves are, I guess, iridescent. But it's better than the red coming through. Get this little tiny piece I missed. I'm trying to see if there's any other white showing. Tiny bit right here. Hard to, because now it's stuck. Yes, I know I'm cutting toward myself, which is a no-no. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to glue that to that. Our little kind of iridescent chicken. Let's see. There's a little bit of sticky on some of it, but I'm just going to use some, I think I'll use, what shall I use? I think I'll use the Fabri-Tac. Mostly because I definitely don't want any white showing. It should dry clear the other glues, but I know this one's clear. I definitely don't want anything showing. This should hold it fine. All right, let's see if we can get it centered. Look from the top. Okay, cute. I'll show you how it's a little bit iridescent. You see how it's kind of iridescent? It's cute though. Alright, and then we'll glue that onto here. I think I'll try gluing this. Sorry, little piggies. The papers are really cute. All right, let's see if we can get this on here. Get like one shot at it, so try to do it well. I could probably peel it off, but I don't want to have to. Okay. There. Now it's got some substance to it. A little fuzzy, we might want to clean up the edges just a little bit. Where's my large scissors? I don't really care if it's a little fuzzy, but I don't want too fuzzy. Okay, and we're going to put that on there. I think that'll be cute. I just thought that plain by itself with just the chickens was a little you know, simple. So I thought this would be a better choice. Hopefully you like it too. This is tricky, putting fabric tack on fuzzy fabric, but I don't really have a choice. I'm gonna have to switch hands. My hand is killing me. I'm putting a decent amount because I do want to make sure that it stays. Can't really spread it out because of the fuzz. It would just make a mess. Felt is like that. All right, let's see if we can try to get this in the center. I'm going to use this ribbon. Help me find the center. Clean up that glue. So once it starts drying good, I can usually just roll off any excess. I'll try to get some of it. I have a wipe here somewhere. On my fingers. What time is it? Almost time. Okay. Let's see. Just got a little excess glue right here. I don't like too much sticking out, so try to clean that up. All right. Cute. I think that's fun. What do y'all think? Do you like it? So it's got a little bit of thickness to it. So it's not just flat. And this has a lot of texture. All right, so that is our cover. All right, that is it, guys. That didn't go too bad. Got it done relatively fast. No mistakes. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I will be posting this on YouTube after the live sometime tonight. And then you can watch it on Facebook for 30 days. And then after that, it will be available only on YouTube because Facebook now deletes everything. So keep that in mind if you go back to look for it later. All right, guys. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will be back on, what is today? Wednesday. I will be back on Friday. So I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I'm going to do Wednesdays and Fridays. The question is, do y'all want me to just do the journal on Wednesdays and Fridays? Or do y'all want me to do that new Row Life kit that I got on either Wednesday or Friday? I really don't want to do Mondays right now. I've just got a lot going on. But I do have another Row Life to put together. This one. Kathy's Flower House. And I figured I'd take y'all along on the journey. And I can do it on Wednesday or Friday and do this on Wednesday or Friday. It will take longer, of course, to get them done, but that's kind of my schedule right now. So would you rather me just concentrate on the journal and after the journal is done, do the Roll Life kit? Or would you rather me split it up and have a little variety during the week? Y'all let me know in the comments. Please let me know. Please comment. I always ask these things and I don't get a single comment. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I'll just figure it out. All right, so please tell me what y'all think. Would you rather just see journal or see both? And like I said, right now my days are Wednesdays and Fridays that I'm available. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to your comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Take care. Bye-bye.